Welcome back to the Primitive Camping and Bushcraft podcast. My name is Chris Speir, and I'm going to be your guide to the great outdoors. So, welcome back to the new rabbit hole. We're going to dive into a rabbit hole today, guys. This is going to be so cool because anytime you start talking about gear or some various kinds of gear, it's a rabbit hole, you know? I mean, it's crazy. But how are you? How are things? How is stuff? Is everybody having a great time? Is everybody, we made it through Thanksgiving and we're going into the second week of December now, and we got Christmas around the corner. Just a reminder, we're going to put this podcast on pause until after the new year, and we're going to start back up in January. So, I've been thinking about that, thinking about it, but you got to have some time with the family, spend some time. It takes a lot of effort to do this and do regular videos and stuff like that. But anyway, let's get diving into the rabbit hole today. So, if you haven't noticed, I have the coffee up here, and I just want to say, wow. I want to say thank you so much for everybody that is ordering this stuff. I can't believe it. I never dreamed it would kick off the way it is kicked off. And I'm just like, holy moly, this is a blessing, and I thank you so much. And if you want some before Christmas, if you want to give some for a gift, you got to get your order in now or you're not going to get it. It's just been overwhelming, and we're starting to get to where we're almost backlogged. So go ahead and put your order in now and get your Primitive Camping Blend coffee, and let's get this stuff out. You got the 6 ounces, 12 ounces, 2 pounds, 5 pounds, and you got fine grind, medium grind, coarse grind, and you got whole beans, and you also got the K-cups. And these K-cups are pretty cool. I use those more than not. And then I'll also use some of the grind there in my morning K-cups. I have one of those little not disposable, but the reusable K-cup filters that I put some regular grinds in, and I'll use that way. But anyway, thank you so much for the overwhelming response for the Primitive Camping and Bushcraft Blend coffee. It is tremendous. I'll leave links in the description of this video and the show notes for you. So anyway, let's get into the rabbit hole. Let's go ahead and stick one foot down that hole, and let's start talking about commercial filtration systems. So anytime that you start looking at convenience in the outdoors, you're going to be sinking some money into something. And, commercial water filtration systems are no different. Yeah, you can, it's crazy how, something in the market comes along and, oh, that's cool. And then whoever markets it, whatever company it is, they put one in the right person's hands. All right. So let's say Grail, for instance. Grail invents this water filtration system. They send it out to a couple of influencers on the intrawebs. And some of these guys that's been around for a while, and they do a video on it, and they're like, oh man, this is awesome. And then all of a sudden they use it for trip after trip after trip after trip. And then more people see them. They teach some classes or whatnot. And, that is all they need is the word of mouth from these influencer type folks that are big in the space of the outdoors. And all of a sudden, this is the new staple item. It's the newest item. It's the craze for the outdoors, and everybody wants one. And this company makes millions of dollars, and stuff like that, all off of a couple of people's word of mouth. And I don't know. I use every item that I've ever made a video on, and my wife actually says I have too much gear. It's time to get rid of some. And I said no. I'm not going to do it. But the rabbit hole here is gear, and commercial filtration systems do count towards as gear. Even though it's in the water section, it still is a gear item that you're going to use. And, water filters on the market today, and each one of them claims to be the best. but they do the same thing. They make dirty water drinkable, and that's straight out of the book. So you and they make it to where you do not have to boil your water to drink. So out of all the water filters, I mean, there's countless water filters. There's tons. And if you have used these things, you know what I'm talking about. All they do is just make your water drinkable. That's all they're there for. And there's different styles, there's different types. You got the squeeze kind, you got the straw kind. Now you got them where they're in line with, you fill up your little pack in your backpack and you just drink dirty water out of your pack, and it cleans it in line. And then you have the Grail, you got the GeoPresses, the Ultra presses, the titanium presses. Then you have the Katadyn hand pumps, and then you get all these gravity filtration systems, and all these systems do the same thing, but yet they all have different purposes, and I will explain that starting now. So commercial water filters have a medium, some form of medium or cartridge that is usually made out of ceramic or some sort of fiberglass material that is going to filter your water. Now, this media is porous enough to allow water to pass through, but the pores are small enough to trap bacteria, viruses, and protozoa. So what this thing's doing is, I wish I had one to where I could cut it in half and demonstrate and show you. But what it does is, let's take lava rocks. Everybody see lava rocks for your flower bed. Now those items right there could probably be used as a water filtration system if needed, because it will allow water to flow through it, but it will trap some of the nasties on the end. And, I'm not saying do that, but I'm just saying that it gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, this media, what they're talking about, or what I'm talking about in the book, is porous enough to allow water to pass through it. So it's got little holes or little cracks or little whatever all the way through it that the water can pass through, but the viruses, the very microscopic viruses, the bacterias, the parasites, the protozoas, all the nasty stuff that's going to get you sick and knock you out of the game are going to get stuck on the end while the water's still going through, and you're able to drink it. And most of these will actually filter out any kind of heavy metals or plastics and stuff like that, microplastics and any kind of items of the such. Now they're going to filter out chemicals, they're going to filter out other heavy metals, and once that happens, your water is cleaner than the stuff that you're getting through a water bottle. If you go to the store and buy Dasani, the water you're drinking through this thing is going to be cleaner than that water, because I'm not sure about Dasani, so I'm not making statements that I can't, but most of your water companies, their water is just like straight tap water from the community. And, go look it up. It really is. And that's what's wrong with the world, is the people are blind and they pay money for stuff that they have no clue where it comes from or what's what, and it's crazy how people will drink this water, and then what gets me, I know we're getting off on a tangent here, but what you go and you buy water from a water bottle that has all these chemicals added to it and minerals added to it for taste. It's water, dude. Water tastes like water. You don't have to put anything in it to make water taste better. If people want water, they're going to drink the water. You have to have water to live. You cannot live off of Coke. You can't live off of Pepsi. You can't live off of coffee. You can't live off of Kool-Aid. You can't live off of these other things. You can only live off of water. The Diet Cokes, your Pepsis, your Dr. Peppers, your Mountain Dews, all your other drinks are killing you. And if you drink these things, it is doing damage to your body and your liver. And, trust me, I am not a 100% health aficionado or whatever they call that, or health nut. I'm not, man, by any means. I mean, look at me. I love to eat. I mean, I'm just a fat guy in the woods. I should be on Creek Stewart show, Fat Guys in the Woods. If anybody knows Creek Stewart, let him know that I'm available for that show. But anyway, this idea of people drinking these drinks and not drinking water is crazy, or adding chemicals to the water for the taste is crazy. You don't have to do that. Just filter the chemicals out of it. Just give us plain Jane drinking water. Make the world healthy again. Get rid of all the crap. I don't know. It's just I got my own personal beliefs about this, and it's just I don't know. So now, some variations of these kind of water filtration systems have charcoal in them, and those are the ones that I really like because they absorb the nasty taste of the water. You get into a situation where you're drinking tea-stained water, and it tastes like tea-stained water. You drink river water, and it's going to taste like it came out of a river. And, I don't know how to explain that, but it's just going to taste bad. And, with these charcoal filters in them, that charcoal is actually going to give the water a nutty flavor. It's going to give you depending on the type of charcoal, the type of wood that the charcoal had come from, is going to give you either a nutty flavor or some kind of wood flavor in there. It's pretty good. I like it. I love it. So, there's different kinds of filters. There's tons of different commercial water filtration systems. Now, the next one, and I had used these before. I did not care for them because there was no way to actually backwash them or to rid the contaminants out of the filter. And once it's clogged and it's done. But the Katadyn water pump filter is one that I bought, and it actually it did a pretty good job. It does a pretty good job, and as long as you're not pumping dirt into the filter. Now you throw it out into the creek or the river or whatever, and you just go ahead and you pump that thing down, and it shoots out clean water on the other end as fast as you pump it. It forces water through the cartridge, and the cartridge is the same kind of stuff. It's either going to be ceramic, or it's going to be some kind of fiberglass, or it's going to have some charcoal media or something to that effect in there, and it's going to be doing the same thing. But I'm pretty sure that the filters inside the pump, the Katadyn is replaceable. So you can buy different filters for it, so once it's done. I have had those little tactical, little Temu products. Those little army pumps. They're about this big, got the little arm that comes out, and you pump your water right out of the creek or whatever. Yeah, they clog up. They clog up real quick, and they are, you can render those dudes useless the first time you ever use them. Been there, done that, won't do it again because I'll never have one of those with me again. The old saying is 2 is 1 and 1 is none. That seems to be correct when it comes to those off-brand water filtration systems. Now, that's not to say that the squeezable or the straw type filters, it's okay to have several of those with you in your backpack. You could have several of them with you and not have a problem. You could put 2 or 3 in a backpack and you're good and you're covered. I've been put in a situation where the squeeze filters clogged up. I didn't have anything else to use, and we had to build a tripod water filter. I told y'all about this in my last video, in my last podcast. And, we used that, me and my brother, and it was pretty cool. But I still don't like having to boil my water. You boil your water, you wait for it to cool down, you drink. And then, like when it comes to cooking and stuff, I just boil. I'll dump my water straight out of the river or whatever into whatever I'm cooking. And then, as long as it's coming to a boil. But, when it comes to drinking it, and I just prefer not to have to boil the water because it's just It takes so damn long, you know. And look, we're talking about primitive camping. We ain't talking about survival. That's a totally different thing. You're in a survival situation, you're gonna boil that water and shut up and color. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's for all the Marines out there that like to do eat the crayons and stuff. I mean, us Air Force guys, you know, I'm not even going down that rabbit hole. But anyway, one of the systems that I love, we talked about the Katadyn pump, you know, the hand pump versions, variations. You know, gravity filters. These are amazing. They're a little bit more bulky than what normally you would bring. And I have a special bag that I put these plastic storage bags in that my filters actually screw to. And I will fill up the reservoir, and it's usually 6 liters, 8 liters, whatever. Fill that reservoir up, and then it will gravity feed and go through a long or bigger version straw filter. And it will filtrate all that water out. You don't have to do anything. Gravity does all the work. And while you're doing other tasks around your camp, or you're fishing or going hunting or you're doing something and you leave that filter on, it's filtering all your water. And when you come back, you're going to have 1.5 gallons or 2 gallons of water ready to go. And that's what I absolutely love about the gravity water filtration system. You don't have to do anything except for fill that bag up, attach it, press go, and you're good to go. Now, the system that I use is by Membrane Solutions, and these guys contacted me asking me to do a video for them, and they sent me the products, and I loved it. I loved the ease of use. I loved how I didn't have to add anything else to it. It was an all-in-one situation, all-in-one product. Everything came with it. Everything works together. You know, it was not expensive. Now, for me, it wasn't expensive because they sent me the product to use. But whenever you're looking at the prices online, like Sawyer has a gravity filtration system where they use the large variation, and they got their own special Sawyer brand bags and stuff like that. You're looking at 60 to $70 for that water filtration system, where you can get the thing for $30 from Membrane Solutions. And then for $5 a straw, you can buy you 3 more straws to put on there in case the event that your straw actually clogs up. Plus, it comes with a backwash adapter, so whenever you get home, you plug that dude in and hook it up to a water hose, and you wash all the nasties out backwards, and it extends the life of your filter. So this is one of those things that you really want to look into whenever you're going. If you're going on a long hike, is the gravity water filtration system something you're necessarily going to need? No, not necessarily. Is it one that you would like to have? Me personally, yes. You know, 5-10 mile hikes. I like, you know, when I'm hiking in 5 or 10 miles, I'm camping for a few days, then I'm hiking 5 or 10 miles out. I'm bringing the gravity water filtration system with me. And that's one of the reasons, that's why I carry that with me, is because of the ease of use. And that's the main reason I carry it with me. So squeeze filtration systems, everybody knows the Sawyer squeeze. I'm pretty sure they got other brands out there. Let's see. Most of these brands, after they've been along for a while, and they show that, hey, we can make some money off of this, then the copycats from China start showing up, and you got off brands doing the same thing. So, but Sawyer brand water filtration systems are actually a pretty good safe bet, and they are a very good water filtration system. The large one will be able to squeeze like 60,000 gallons or something like that. 6,000 gallons. I don't remember. It's thousands of gallons. And it's a pretty good bet, you know. Let's see if I put it in here. Over the years, I've enjoyed countless commercial gravity fed filters, blah, 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 blah. No, I didn't put it in there. No. I didn't put how long it lasts in there, but it does 16 to 24 ounces, these bags that come with it. But anyway, what happens is it gives you a little bag that you fill up with your dirty water and you screw the filter on, and then you squeeze that dude into your mouth or into a container. And I've used one of those for a long time. And one of the first ones I ever got was my mom gave me one for Christmas. She's always getting me something outdoorsy. I love that woman. She's something else. But, you know, uh, the squeeze filters usually fit on water bottles. Like even here in the book on page 135, I put the quick tip: using a smart water bottle attached to a squeeze filter can help lighten the load and serve more than one purpose. Then you can use a smart water bottle in a summer or sunny day to light a fire, use it to do a magnification fire, and stuff like that. It serves more than one function, all kinds of stuff like that. But the squeeze filters, man, they do pretty good. They do pretty good. My we're fixing to get into my go-to filter. Um, here shortly. But the squeeze filters do pretty good. I've used those before. The straw filters are good. I've used those before. The pump filters, they tend to clog up because you can't pay attention to where your pump is out in the water, and it gets in the mud and you clog that dude up with some mud, and you don't have a way to backwash it when you're out in the field. So those I try to steer away from. And then now we're getting into the actual straw filters. Now, straw filters are widespread. I mean, everybody knows that there is a life straw, there is a membrane solution straw, everybody has seen straws. Everybody's seen straw filters. And it doesn't matter where you've been, what walk of life you've been, you have seen some kind of water filtration system in the straw form. Life straws. Life Straw is the name brand, and I got one in my water kit. I got one in a hunting kit. I got one in a boating kit, and they're cost effective and they're easy. Yeah, they're not going to last as long as some of the other filtration systems, but in an emergency, they're going to give you some drinking water no matter where you're at or what you're drinking. You could probably even drink sewage through these things and still live. I'm not going to put that to the test because just not. The only person I got a lot of faith in is Jesus, and I don't have a lot of faith in some of these water filtration systems. But when it comes down to it, you could actually put these in several kits. Within 3 days, they should not clog up too well. Now, that's not to say that my previous one, it clogged up in 2 days. The squeeze filter, it clogged up 2 days out. And I had to build the tripod water filter system, and that's how we had drinking water. But, once I got home, I was able to backwash this filter, and then the filter actually came back to life, and I was able to use it for many more trips. I was just cognizant and made sure I pre-filtered water before I actually used that water filtration system. So now, here is one tip about water filtration systems. And this is very important. If you don't listen to anything else in this podcast or this video, listen to this. Do not use your water filtration system if it has frozen. Don't do it. So what happens is the water gets into your medium and it expands and it cracks the medium, and it allows the water to flow through without being filtered, and you will get sick. All right. Now, this is not to say that every one of them is going to crack or break. It won't crack on the outside of the filter. It will crack the ceramic or the fiberglass or whatever the filter is made of on the inside. Now, I would not, and I would not use it. I would move on. But let's get, if you've watched any of my videos and you have listened to any of my podcasts, you will know that my favorite water filter is the Grail GeoPress. The Grail GeoPress is my go-to. I use it every time I go to the woods. I take it with me every time I head out to the woods. It's in my boat, it's in my backpack. And when I go into the woods, this thing is the lifesaver. I go on camping trips. This is probably the only filter I'll take with me. I always have a backup, 2 is one is none. I always have a backup, but the Grail is my primary water source when I go to a trip. And what I wrote here in the book is that the Grail GeoPress, it has become the go-to filter system of countless outdoor enthusiasts, bushcrafters, and survivalists, many of whom consider it to be one of the absolute best filtration systems on the market. It has 4 parts: the cap or lid, the inner press, a replaceable filter cartridge, and the outer cup. To use this, you're going to simply fill the outer cup up to the fill line. You're going to insert the inner press, unscrew the cap, and push the water by pressing down. The inner press will fill up, and within 8 to 11 seconds, you will have 24 ounces, depending on your size. I got a 24-ounce one, not the 16.9. You'll have 24 ounces of purified water ready to drink, no matter where you are on the planet. And that is their claim to fame, is that no matter where you are on the planet, you will have clean drinking water. I just recently did a video on YouTube that we pre-filtered the water out in a sludge pit, nasty, like water pit. Had dead turtles in it, had fish in it, hogs around, rooting around. I mean, this was a sludge bath, nasty water pit. And it was mud. And we pre-filtered with a handkerchief and poured that water into, actually we used a millbank bag, me and Dave. We got millbank bags just for the 24-ounce Grails. And we filtered that water out with a millbank bag and then put it through the GeoPress and then drank it on the spot. And I am still here. I didn't get sick. And this is some sketchy, nasty stuff. So if you want, I'll leave the description to that video in the show notes for this podcast. But that water was disgusting. A couple more days and it'd probably be as thick as syrup. It was so nasty. There was dead turtles laying around, and there was tadpoles in it. There was just, it was all kinds of disgusting. But we still filtered it. We still drank it, and here we are. I'm still alive, and that was last week. We did that last week, so that's crazy. Oh, well. So, all right. Well, that's it for the water filtration stuff. We've gone through the entire chapter of water. And now we're going to take a couple-week hiatus, and we're going to pick up with season 2 of the Primitive Camping and Bushcraft podcast. And we're going to pick up in the fire section. All right. And fire is one of my favorite subjects, is one of my favorite things to do. I absolutely love starting fires, and fire is awesome. And so speaking of fire, so is this coffee. Now, the coffee beans are roasted nice to perfection and have an amazing aroma. And I just want to thank everyone that has helped kick this off and push this to success to the point where it's something I never dreamed of. I really do appreciate it, and I thank each and every one of you for this. So, hey, I tell you what, God bless you. Merry Christmas. And notice I said Merry Christmas. It is Christmas. Jesus is the reason for the season. And I hope you guys remember that. And I will see you in the new year with a new video and a new podcast. God bless you. I'll see you then.